Hello, everyone. Coming at you on a Monday morning. It's about 9 o'clock here in Omaha, Nebraska. 29th of December. Cheers. It got cold last night. It's 12 degrees now, but it got below zero last night. The house is okay. Once again, after a while, if you don't pay attention and do things, then you lose out. So again, before I went to bed last night, I opened the one water tap in the kitchen that freezes because it's on a wall. And again, it's something else I'm looking forward to having done this spring, is to have the wall insulated properly on that side of the house. When my neighbor Ray worked on the front of the house, what do we got here? Okay, I see this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right quick, if you see this, Dan, I just I have my browser open, and so onto Facebook, and I just saw where Paul from the band Paul Murky from the band RAF responded. I forget what I was talking about. I'm just flowing. Okay. Good morning. So, friends of Kelly Calier, the singer of RAF, who committed suicide, did a fundraiser to put together a memorial to remember Kelly, a park bench for a skate park. It got done, and so pictures were posted. Thank you, Dan, for sharing that. And Paul was just making a comment about it, a bittersweet comment. I understand what Paul just said now. It took me a second. Oh, anyway, it's the end of the year. It's been a hell of a year. Next year's going to be worse unless we try harder. It's going to be worse. So, it's Monday, and so I just figured, do a Monday video. It got cold last night, I told you, yeah. So I took care of the house. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when they had the front of the house worked on. We saw where this house was built back in the 40s by the Army, slapped up housing for quickly, and it was like there's really no insulation in the wall when he tore it out. I really feel the difference since then. When I spend time out in the living room, the room holds the heat much better, and there's no draft. Let me go to the comments right quick, because I do appreciate very, very much you people. I really do. And this exchange, I do. I appreciate it. And now that I want to talk about the comments, my browser is saying I'm going to hang up on you and take forever to load. So as I'm trying to do that and speak about the comments, okay, so you're going to do that. Fuck that. Yesterday I did a little bit of house cleaning. I mean, not regular house cleaning, but trying to keep the rooms not too cluttered. My closets are bursting. I do have to do some clearing out of some stuff, some items, clothing and other stuff. It's like You know how you hold on to stuff forever and you never use it and it's just there, but you just keep it? Well, I understand. I'm going to be 71 next year, and that people around my age and older are downsizing, and it's a reality that I have to think about. It's like I can't take it to the grave. Like I've got some little portable cassette recorders. You remember from the back in the day? Um, when I was a kid, we were so poor that it was like manna from heaven to have my first little bitty reel to reel. Then it was forever before I could afford a portable cassette, and then on top of that, batteries. You know what I'm saying? You're so poor that you could only use it while you had batteries. I couldn't afford to buy batteries when they ran down. So I have stuff like that. That I've acquired over the years. You all do that, right? With different items, stuff that but it's just taking up space, and it's like, well, I'm never going to use those cassette recorders ever again. There was a time when I thought, I know what, I'll do an art project with them, and probably have in the past, but that was a long time ago. So while I was trying to find room for more records in this closet, as always happens, something caught my eye in there, so I pulled it to play just to be listening to something and really enjoyed it. But it also took me back, what the date? When remixes was a new thing still. This is a 1992 CD I'm about to show. By singer Tevin Campbell. Remember him? Young man. He was still a boy when he broke out. Really strong voice. Doing the Brothers Johnson song Strawberry Letter 23. There's 10 different remixes on the CD. This is back when, overkill, and we just don't know what we're doing. Well, half the time we don't know what we're doing, but it's like, I made it through 3 remixes, and then it was like, well, this obviously wasn't designed with the idea that someone's going to actually listen to this all the way through. I don't think so. It's got all these different mixes, so it's utilitarian. It's got the radio mix. It's got the club mix. It's got the album mix, the soul mix. Naughty beats. But I enjoyed it. It's a great song. And was that written by produced by Quincy Adams? Was that written by Shuggie Otis? Once again, Shuggie Otis, Johnny Otis' son. I hate this how I can't see shit. I can't even see. It doesn't even. Well, the most famous version, and I think the original version is by, the most famous is by Brothers Johnson, but I think Shuggie Otis wrote it. And I was just trying to get out that my dad knew Shuggie Otis, Johnny Otis' dad, and so I was around Shuggie when I was a kid a couple times. I just don't remember him. Cheers, people. Let's see if the browser will let me open it again. Because I see where someone did let me know that they picked up on the Timothy Clover. And I love that I'm able to share, and that what I share helps lead others to discoveries and finding out about people. Yeah, this McD says he considered himself a big pop psych head, and even he missed this one. And I love that about collecting and my interest in music, because it's very wide. And I do. I find things that other people miss. This one says that my track, Dereck's Blues, sounds a little bit like Summer Madness. Cool in the Gang? Really? Thank you. I can't hear that, but I thank you. But the person goes on to say something. People, I don't know why people are so like this, but it sounds okay, a little slow, but this is just my opinion, which doesn't mean much. Good job. It's a little slow, huh? Well, he said it's just his opinion. The other person, this next person says this: perfect closing ceremony music for a rougher than necessary year. It does have a dark, brooding undertone. Thank you. Someone suggested I put an epic spoken poem on top. That's exactly what I do not want. No, it's music. It's there. What are we going to fuck it up with some words for? Don't take that personally, people who write words and poems and stuff. That music is sacred. I don't need it. It doesn't need singing. Always good to hear from you, Rebecca. Yeah, I talked to Timothy Leary. I'll talk about that. Back in early '80s, we have so many chapters in our lives. But there was this one chapter when I was hanging out tough with a couple of women, and we decided to do a camping trip to Colorado with one other guy, two women and two guys, but also in tandem we were going to go to the Jack Kerouac Festival at the Naropa Institute, founded by Allen Ginsberg, who I told you I had already met, and then when we went out. So anyway, the trip was really cool because it starts out off as four people, but the other guy was a flake. I didn't like him in the first place, and it wasn't me. It was the ladies ditched him, dumped him. Something happened, and it was like, you're out of here. And he didn't even make it to Colorado with us. But that was how I met. That's how I got to speak to Timothy Leary. It was a big, it was a big talk that that was part of the Jack Kerouac Festival. So he was taking questions, so I was able to ask a question. So I didn't get to hang out with him like this, like I did with Allen Ginsberg and other folks like that. But I got this hear Lawrence Ferlinghetti read poetry live. Ran into William Burroughs. I was a little too high on the Grateful Dead's liquid mescaline. My women friends, I was going to say girlfriends, but respect to the women. One of them was a friend with the Grateful Dead, and we were able to get some of their supply of mescaline. And we went to their show at Red Rocks. We got so tore up that we never even made it into the show. We were in the parking lot where I was. I lost track of my friends for a while, but I got so high and had so much fun in the parking lot that I never even went inside for the show for very long at all. But that's when I met Timothy Leary and hung out with Allen Ginsberg for a second time. And yes, he remembered me from when we met in Lincoln the first time, and he, true to form, apparently he thought I was attractive, so he tried to come on to me again. I said, come on, Allen, man, come on, dog, come on. I like that about him, though. Honest, truly spiritual, but truly hedonistic, and honest about it. Nothing to hide. So, got a couple records to show, but again, I'm just so thankful that the wheels of, because there are months when no ideas are happening and I'm not recording anything. And this month, in December alone, I have started. So I told you I have over 40 new pieces. It's much more than that because in December alone, I'm opening up my iTunes to look at my December playlist of or my December folder from Reason, and how many I have. 31 new ideas just this month alone. I'm not even counting the stuff that I did in September. October was quiet, but September and November were also active. Very, very feeling very thankful and happy about the music. But a record that did actually get played, besides the Tevin Campbell yesterday, was The Pretty Things, SF Sorrow. This is a reissue. This album is a monster. This album is classic. It has been, after the fact, it's now recognized by critics and music lovers that this was ahead of its time. It pointed the way for some of the other bigger bands, like The Who with Tommy. The idea of doing a rock opera concept album. From the very beginning of this album, the chiming guitars at the beginning by, is it Dick Taylor? You can hear that this is something good. This is big. It's a great album. SF Sorrow. Balloon is Burning. This is an awesome piece of work. Quintessential UK rock music. You could give it psych, prog, whatever. It's just a monster album. Really enjoyed this yesterday. Really enjoyed it. And a recent play, and this was sent to me by Carm. You see this, Carm. Happy holidays and thank you. I listened to this again recently. Wayne Phoenix, Soaring, Story, the Earth and Sky. This is a brother, a black man, doing the not usual sound that comes from the black world of music. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not stereotyping. I'm talking about reality. When you say black music, you know what you're talking about. And this is an international, borderless type of sound. There's a lot of ambience here. There's a touch of classical. There's spoken word, a little bit of singing, I think. This is really good. Thank you for sending it to me. On the RVNG International label, Revenge. That's a good label. Whenever I see the label, which isn't often in the used in particular, if I see something on the label, I just buy it. Which is how I found this album, which actually is another record I listened to. I did actually listen to this again. I bought this not that long ago. Dialect, Under Between. It was speaking to me. It was in the used section at Homer's. I liked the graphics, but then I saw that it was under RVNG, the Revenge International label. I said, it's probably good. It's very good. It's very, very good. Cheers, people. So out of the blue yesterday, I got some sales. I love that because I'm not on here. I'm not on here like every other channel, always pitching to you something, which angers me. It does. I know it's the lay of the land that the market is how we live, but it just pisses me off that we're just always having to have some kind of pitch. And I'm not always trying to sell you anything. I'm just on here. I never ask you to subscribe. I just get on here and share some time with you. So it's wonderful when the sales come because people are interested. So thank you. It's really cold today. I may not leave the house, but I'll get them in the mail no later than tomorrow. But I don't have them all in here. But I sold yesterday from the archives a copy of this. Now, if you like my latest Dereck's Blues and you haven't listened to any of my other music, you really ought to. I didn't just all of a sudden get good. I've been working at this for a while, and this is good stuff. I also sold a copy of, I sold two of those. I sold Here, and I sold, it's almost gone, Aspects. So I don't even have a copy of it in here to show you. It's almost gone. But I still have more of these to sell. The Muse. Again, as I keep saying to you, I did this with Cubby and Blake. Cubby on guitar, Blake on trumpet. This is wonderful. It really is special. This is something else. I've just got a few copies left. DHX is the most recent CD that I released this year. Portrait of me on the back by local artist Jonathan Mark Sievers. This is killer. I've been playing stuff off of this live recently. I heard from someone recently who shared that they've been listening to Interlude again and loving it. I'm getting down there, but I've still got these. And you can own these. I'll leave the link to my Bandcamp site, $10. I live on Social Security and the money I make off of my music, which isn't very much, but it is actually part of my income. I would appreciate your support, but more importantly, that music is good, and you ought to listen to it. Don't just buy them and sit them on the shelf. Listen to them. Good to hear from you folks, and I meant to get that far. I see where I heard from Terry down in Australia. It had been a long time. Nice to hear from you, Terry, if you see this. Good to hear from you. Thank you. Someone told me that Flair is from the Netherlands and that they saw them live. Very cool. I had an interaction with the Electric Acid fella. And I see where he's left me he's left me a link to something which I hadn't seen. And the link is to, the Stark Reality. Yeah, I have that. Not an original. You know the originals are very collectible, but I have that. It was nice to have an interaction with him. Because, I meant no disrespect to him, but over the years, I've heard from many people, many times saying when I speak up about trolls and say something, that they'll tell me, well, the trolls are getting a backhanded gift because they're getting attention. Well, that's no reason to not speak. Okay? So what if they get negative reaction? I have a need to speak my thoughts and express my concerns, which is what I'm in some ways modeling, because staying quiet doesn't help. By staying quiet or not upsetting things or not speaking more loudly and more forcefully against bullshit is partially why we're in the situation we are now politically, where all these criminals and scummy people are in high offices, running the country into the ground with gaslighting and lies and bullshit because no one will stand up to them. And so when idiots and lowlifes and people with bad intentions or bad lives leave comments over here, if it bugs me, I'm going to say something. They need to be called out. It reminds me of my final years in high school when I was already seeing the future where the teachers are losing control. I remember in the 60s when teachers were still good at clamping down on the bullshit in the back of the classroom. The clowns, My senior year of high school, things were getting crazy already. There were classes where it's like the teacher can hardly teach because he's dealing with all of the chaos with the students. So that's why I speak out. Would you tell me honestly, as a parent, would you want your child to grow up like Donald Trump or Mike Johnson, even, or Stephen Miller for that matter? I'm calling them out. I'm not a Democrat, but these people are really scum. Democrats are hiding. They're just as scummy too. But the GOP are really fucking shit up. So that's why I speak out, okay, Mr. Electric Acid. I like your channel. He asked me for some input, and it's like, no, don't put me to work. I can hardly remember what I got. That's why I liked his channel, because it was, oh, shit, yeah. I like that. Can I see if I can spot it real quick? Yeah. Yes. Hoagie Carmichael's Music Shop. I remember for a while when this was like super hot on the collector's market. Good musicians on here. John Abercrombie. Look at that. Check it out. Benny Johnson. And I think some of the breaks on here have been used in hip hop. I'm not sure about that. But I'm glad I finally got a copy of it. It took forever. Originals are hard to find. When I pulled this was next to it, so I'll show it. Startled Insects. They have another album I'd like to find. This is instrumental. A little hard to fathom right at first, but good. The sort of thing that I've always wished that people weren't so lazy. That's the sort of music that you have to kind of work at it to get it. It's worth it. Okay, folks, that's what I got. Family. Boy, family. You're always on my mind. Love you so much. Everyone, take care. Let me know. Just talk to me. Take care.